Upon further review, the ruling on the field stands. This is the greatest sports podcast, First and Goat. All right, what's good, everybody? Today's March 16th, and welcome to another episode of First and Goat. I am your GOAT host, Sal, and we're joined by our fellow GOAT host, Luis and Adan, from all the way from Bay Area and back to Chicago. Let's get the show started again. We got a few things to cover. I think Adan, you want to take it away today? I think you want to start off with what today?
We're gonna start off checking in on the NBA as we've been doing the last couple of weeks. Tracking the standings, MVP races, that kind of stuff. Just want to welcome these other goats to the conversation. I brought some friends along. They're just chilling in the back. Wanted you to meet some more goats. Yeah, some goatees over there. So let's start with you, Luis. NBA. What do you think? Standings, what's been going on? Teams, MVP race, all that stuff.
Sure. So I kind of wanted to get the East out of the way first. They're the least attractive conference for me right now. They're not the most, like, compared to the West. The West, I mean, there's just so many teams involved. And the East, I mean, what I'm talking about is I'm not even saying, like, the standings. Like, I don't know who's going to end up, like, 2, 3, 4, but just everybody that makes it into the playing game in the playoffs. I think the East is pretty solidified. I just wanted to get your feedback and what you guys thought about. So at the bottom, I feel like there's an opportunity for a team to sneak in. And unfortunately, I feel like it might be the Bulls, I think, and I say that because, they're not going to make any noise in the playoffs. This has been a disappointing season. So I think fans are divided all the time. Like, root for your team to win no matter what, or get the best opportunity for a lottery pick. I want them to get a better chance at the lottery, at a better lottery pick. But I just think when I'm looking at the standings on the East, you can't probably bring it up, right, Adon? It's probably too much to bring up where they're at. But I mean, I feel like the Wizards. I'm not. They're the East of the bottom of the East is pretty bad. I think Washington, when I was kind of taking a look at their remaining games, they got about 10 games left. I mean, they just have an opportunity to maybe, when I kind of did it like the eyeball test, maybe with 10 games left, they would go maybe 4-6, I estimated. And the Bulls, when I looked at their schedule, I feel they could go, I think I put 5-9. Wait, the fuck am I talking about?
Yeah, so then they would. So I can share it. Our
if you could share
gonna get really, really small, but I'll share it really quick, and then we'll go back to those.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now the Bulls are half a game behind Washington.
Right, that's what I was referring to. So just looking at the remaining schedule, I think that the Bulls could sneak in there, and if they sneak in there ahead of the Wizards, it would be with a just by like one game, you know what I mean? Just look at the rest of the schedule. So I don't know what you guys thought. Indiana, their schedule is terribly tough. So I don't even think they're gonna really be able to get in there. I think it's either gonna be Washington holding or the Bulls, sneaking in there.
Anyway, Toronto is the one that gets out.
No, I don't. They've been playing okay, like 500 basketball lately. But the thing with Toronto is that a lot of these, like, one of the things that I was looking at, like Toronto, they're still pretty solid at home. They're terrible on the road. On home, as long as they're home, and I don't know, like, I didn't look at their schedule too much. I think they have 6 away games, 7 home, something like that. And kind of looking at the schedule, I think they could finish off going 500 anyway the rest of the way. So I wasn't too worried about Toronto. And then when you start looking at these like bottom dwellers like Washington and Chicago, Washington, they have a losing record at home and away, yet they're ahead of the Bulls. The Bulls have a winning record barely at home, but they're horrendous on the road so far this season, So I don't know. I mean, do you guys have any care or thoughts? Like, if the Bulls sneak in, if they don't, are you guys indifferent to it? Because is it really going to make that much of a difference if they get into the playoffs in terms of draft picks? So, I was just curious what you guys thought.
To be honest, it sucks to say, you're supposed to root for your team, right? Get in and make as much noise as you can. But like you said, man, what are they gonna do? What have they done all year? And then you think about it, just like missing playoffs and being a lottery pick. Like we don't have strong chances, but we didn't have, like what do we have? Like less than 1% when we got Derrick Rose, the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe just roll the dice, go that route. And the reason I say because it just sucks because we haven't attracted any big time free agents here. So like maybe we got to go just like Derrick Rose. We got lucky with Derrick Rose. We just probably got to roll the dice and lottery, and hopefully get some the next big thing. The Frenchie. But
Yeah.
that's where I stand.
Yeah, well, the higher the better, right? So that Jimmy Butler wasn't top 5, but they drafted a really good solid player in Jimmy Butler. Heinrich was number 7, right? So any thing they could do to give themselves a chance of being somewhere in the top 10, I agree with you guys. So there's no chance. They might sneak in, like you're saying, Luis, just again by chance because the other teams are just sucking even more. And they look like they're trying, right? Like Levine's playing really well.
Right.
Vicious has been playing solid. DeRozan, so it looks like they're trying for some reason to get in. And we're not there, so maybe they believe in themselves. Like, we just had a bad year, but if we just get in, maybe they're thinking like the Lakers. Like, all we gotta do is get in, and we could. But I doubt it. You want to talk about the West really quick?
Yeah, absolutely. So on the West to me, I mean, shit, man, it's like way more interesting to me.
Let me show those standings real quick for our millions of fans out there. This is as of March 16th.
So I think you're a lot better versed than I am in this, Don. Like, obviously before forever the NBA was top 8, right? And now they have a play-in game, so 9 and 10 could have a playoff series, right? So that they could play as the 8th seed, so they could play the 8th seed like a play-in game. They have a play-in game so that they could play the 8th seed.
So the 7 and the 8 play each other, and whoever wins is the 7. And then the 9 and 10 play each other, and then the winner of the 9 and 10 play the loser of the 7 and 8, and the winner of that one ends up with the 8th seed. So let's say it stays like this, and Dallas loses to the Timberwolves, and the Lakers beat the Thunder, then it will be Dallas Lakers, and if the Lakers beat them, Dallas is out of the playoffs.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's what I always get all fucked up. But yeah, so so obviously going back to the ¿cómo se llama? The standings real quick. The team to watch are the Lakers, right? They hold the 10th seed, right? Man, looking at their schedule, and
by accident.
No, so they and now so a couple things with them, right? They're Anthony Davis has been in a tear, right? They sat him down yesterday because of the back-to-back. I mean, that should have been a winnable game, right? They were playing, who the fuck were they playing? Houston, maybe?
Houston, yep.
They lose, right? But they had a bunch of guys out. So they lost that game. Looking at the rest of the season, I'm just curious. We'll do this real quick. Just put you guys on the spot. All right, their next game is against Dallas. Win or loss?
Win.
Okay. All right, and then after that,
Luka's out.
And then after that, it's they're playing Orlando Magic.
Win.
Yeah, probably.
Win? What you say? Both of you guys say win?
Yeah, I would say a win because there's no back-to-backs anymore, right?
I don't think so. That I didn't check. Yes, and this is the other thing. Like I don't have it.
There's no back-to-backs. I'm looking at the schedule right now. No.
And then after that, they're playing Phoenix, but they're playing Phoenix at home. I think.
No KD.
Yeah.
Let's give them a loss. Okay, let's give them a loss. So if they win the next 2, they're 500. And then let's say they lose against the Suns. Okay.
And then after that, they play OKC, and I think that's at home too.
It is.
It's at home. OKC.
That's probably a win.
Win. All right. And then they play Chicago at home.
Win.
Hopefully by that time the Bulls are like giving up.
Right. So let's say a win at home. Now, the thing that I don't have it in front of me, guys, but I don't know how. Then they play Chicago again, but
Yeah.
at,
On the road, yeah.
That's gonna be a loss on the road. That's gonna be a
I
loss.
put a loss on there. That might just be the homer in me, you know.
I think it's just
Okay.
they can't win them all. So like, I gotta pick some.
So far, I have this everything you guys have said. That's how I have it, except the first one. I gave the game to Dallas, this Friday game.
So how many more games are left then? Because if we go by what we just said, they're 500.
Right, and after that, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games.
6 games after that.
Yeah, and they're at Minnesota. Okay, that's a big game. And then they're at Houston, which I think we could all agree that that should be a win, even though they just lost to them. But I'm assuming that AD plays, and you know,
LeBron should be
back.
back for the last 6, 7 games. Yeah.
You know, so I think let's say LeBron comes back at Minnesota, at Houston, those could be wins, right? Then this one at Utah.
Oof. Win.
Yeah. Utah's trying too. So
And they're good at home. They're not good at home, but they, you know, they're obviously better at home than they're on the road. I put them down for a loss on that one.
Yeah.
And then this one, then they go back home against the Clippers.
okay, let's give them a loss. So they're back to 500.
And then they're back home again for the next 2 games against Phoenix and Utah.
Oof. Say they can finish 500, but that might be all that's needed.
There you go. So I put them that, you know, obviously, you know, try not to be too biased, that I think at worst they'll finish 6-6 or at best 7-5. And at 7-5, then they would finish 41-41. Yeah. I just don't see them losing that spot unless they play worse than 500, you know, ball. OKC, terrible schedule. Utah has a real tough schedule because they're on the road a lot in the beginning. They get some home games towards the end. Portland's out, if anybody cares. Their schedules.
I know, surprisingly, but yeah, they're
out. Dallas, I think they're gonna be okay. I think they'll hold. You know, Dallas, everybody's been freaking out on them. They're like they're just skydiving plummeting to the end, right, of the standings.
They're only 1 game ahead of the Lakers.
They are, but the rest of their schedule, I think they might finish out better than the Lakers. And again, that's just eyeballing the schedule, right? At home and stuff. New Orleans, I don't think they have enough. The Jazz maybe was the only one that I was a little I think New Orleans, I take that back. New Orleans, Zion, I don't know. I didn't get a chance to check if when he's coming back. He's just shut down for the rest of the season, you know. But New Orleans could what the hell am I talking about? They would at best maybe finish 40-42. So that would still be behind the Lakers if they finished at 41-41, you know.
Well, the Mavs don't have that strong of that easy to schedule. They play Lakers, Grizzlies, they got Warriors, then back to back with not back to back, but they got 2 games in a row with Hornets, Pacers. They got Sixers, Heat, Kings.
That's actually not a good. I think,
and I mean they got some scrappy teams, but they're playing up with this. They got some
tough teams too. Yeah, Memphis is tough. Yeah, all those teams are tough.
But I think they're done. And then let me see here. Who are the Clippers playing? The Clippers. Magic, Portland, Thunder, Pelicans, Bulls, Grizzlies, Pelicans, Lakers, Portland, Suns. So the second half, the second part is it's not. They got some tough schedule like last 6 games.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I'm very intrigued by the West because all those teams are jumbled in there. A lot of these teams, especially like the Lakers, you know, like all they got to do is be in. You guys just be in the playoffs. You could be a very dangerous team. But I don't think and maybe I'm in the minority. I don't think Dallas would fall out, and then I don't know what team would sneak in instead of Dallas. And I don't think the Clippers either.
Utah,
yeah. Utah, if you look at their schedule, I feel like, I mean, all of these teams, they're all playing each other.
Yep.
It's just, Memphis is playing Dallas and the Clippers are playing Utah. Like all the West, it's a lot of conference games too coming up. So it's the team that I'm intrigued about is Phoenix. I don't know how well they're gonna play the rest of, and then the other thing that I'll take into account is teams, like they're tough at the end. Like the Lakers have Phoenix and Utah,
Mhm.
But what if Phoenix is just like resting their guys, they have their seed locked up, like, and they just don't play Chris Paul and they don't play, Booker. I don't know. It's just gonna be a lot is gonna happen in the next couple of weeks. So I think the East is a little bit more solidified, but the West, I think it's pretty interesting.
I think so Sal, did you wanna add anything about the West or anything? I just wanna give my quick 2 cents.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna probably repeat everything I said. I think I'm not gonna change my opinion. I think the Lakers still have a chance of going up to as far as like the 5th, 6th seed. I'm not scared of the Warriors, the Clippers, Wolves, Mavs.
I don't know about the 5th, but they might be able to get up to the 6th. Yep.
Well, the guy that's in the 5th, like who's in 5th right now? Like
The
what's
Clippers.
and then how many losses do they have right now? Like, or the
32, I think.
Okay.
33, 37 and 33.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said they have a tough second half, and then I don't know. It's the Lakers have an easier schedule. They play the tougher. The LeBron, depending when LeBron comes back, the AD again. It all depends, and I don't want to make excuses. It does depend on AD's health. But I think they maybe 6th seed, but I won't be shocked if they get as far as the 5th seed. These guys just fall apart.
For them to reach up there, don't you think they would have to like finish like at 8-4, 9-3, I think the rest of the way.
Because, I mean, and the Clippers would need to go like I don't know 4-6 or whatever 3 whatever. And like I said, I looked at the schedule. Like the Clippers they don't scare me. So they got Westbrook. They fucked up getting Westbrook. I told you guys. I said,
don't you feel bad for that guy? Like every day there's a new superstar defending him. Like Stephen Curry was the guy the other day. Like, hey, everybody shits on Westbrook, but the guy plays hard. Like why is everybody feeling so sorry for him? Like he's I don't get it.
They won 4 in a row after losing 5. So there's a chance that they might be figuring it out a little bit.
Well, maybe I'm greedy. Let's say they get to 60. They make. I won't. I still don't think I will. I won't be shocked. Maybe somewhere else, but I'm still stuck with what I said like a few weeks ago. They could climb up to the 6th seed. If LeBron didn't get hurt when I said that, who knows? They probably would have been 8, 9, 7 seed already right now. But whatever. What ifs?
So, just really quick before we go to the next topic, just some notes that I took. I think if we've noticed NBA, NFL, and MLB, I think any sport, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys have noticed this. What matters is how you kind of go into the playoffs more than the entire season. Like some teams start off really, really fast. They could even end up with like the #1 seed. But then there's a team that just at the end of the season, they just kind of like get it and they start playing really well. And I think we could all agree that team right now is the Bucks. The Bucks have been incredible. I think they're 8-2, but they won 16 in a row, right? One loss was against the Sixers, which the Sixers are playing well. The other one was against the Warriors here in San Francisco, but without Giannis. So I'm just looking at their last, since the All-Star game. All teams have played about 11 to 12 games. So if we just look at the last 10, right? Let's just take it at that. Like, how are they doing going into the playoffs? Obviously, the Bucks are playing the best. And we could just look at last year, the Celtics. I don't know if you guys remember, the Celtics were 25-25 at some point last year. They finished 26-6 and went all the way to the finals. I mean, they lost against the Warriors, but it's just that momentum. Right, you just gotta I think that's what matters. So, I don't think anybody in the West has any momentum, but in the East, definitely the Bucks, the 76ers, The Celtics, they haven't played. The Robert Williams III has not played since March 3rd, and I do think he makes that much of a difference. So I still see him as competing, even though they've been 500 since the All-Star break. I think they've been 6-6, so right now they're showing 5-5. 76ers have won 6 in a row. Embiid is looking like a beast. He's been playing great. He outplayed Jokic, and they beat the Nuggets. Vegas has him favored now to win the MVP. That's how good he's been.
I think I saw that they were tied, or maybe I don't know. Maybe it's been updated since then. I thought they were like
on first things first. They showed him, and he's ahead minus 150, and Jokic was plus 250, and then Giannis 350. So he's got ahead of him. They have one more game coming up March 26, 27 against each other. But Embiid put up 47, 18, and 5 against Jokic. Jokic went like 24, 9, and 8. Jokic only took 12 shots though. That's what I don't get. He's still efficient, but Embiid just killed him. So in the West, so I still think the East is intriguing because I think the Bucks are ahead of everybody, but the 76ers are playing really well, and I don't count out the Celtics. The rest of them, we already talked about this, right? The Knicks have been playing well, but I just don't give them a chance against those top 3 teams, nor the Cavs, nor what's left of the Nets. I heard some commentators saying that they give the Heat a chance to come out of the East just because in the playoffs the game slows down and defense matters, and the Heat have really good defense. I don't know. I think the Celtics and Bucks have good defense. So the West is wide open. My pick, the Nuggets have lost 4 in a row, and that's not just 4 games they lost, but it's been to the Bulls, the Spurs, the Nets, and the Raptors. They can't be a fucking legitimate number 1 and be losing to these teams, in my opinion.
Right.
Kings are playing well. They're 8-2. Fox has been super clutch. He hit that 3-pointer with like 1.7 seconds left against the Bulls. Clippers have won 4 in a row, I mentioned. Warriors can't win on the road. They got their schedule. They got the next 4 games on the road. They got 7 of their last 12 games on the road. So they could finish 500 just like the Lakers. They could fall out, man. I have no idea why. So they just lost to the Clippers in LA. They're going at Atlanta without Draymond Green. Then they got Memphis, Houston, and Dallas. All of them on the road. So who knows what could happen there?
I think Golden State, their road record is like I don't know. I don't want to say it's but I mean in the contending teams, are they like single digits wins?
Yeah, they're 7 and 27.
7 and 27. That's insane to me.
Same as Detroit. Same as Detroit, and only 1 game better than Spurs and Rockets.
That's crazy. I don't know. There has to be something like I don't know what is it like? Is everybody? I don't get it. Does everybody when the Warriors come in like that's crazy?
I heard that they're missing Wiggins on the defensive end of the court, and he's out for personal reasons. They haven't really said why he's out. I don't know if Wiggins makes that much of a difference. Curry had 50 points yesterday. They still lost. So for some reason, they can't win on the road. But let's say, they'd say they go 7-5 or 6-6. You can still catch up to them if you're the Lakers. The West is wide open.
Right.
There's nobody that's on a roll or that's making a splash like the Bucks and the 76ers.
I'm looking at the Warriors schedule. I'm looking at just their road schedule. They still got the tougher matchup is Grizzlies. They got Mavs. They got Nuggets. They got Kings. And then they got a couple other ones, but they're not tough, like Rockets and Trailblazers. But I said they're 7 and something. They might lose those games too. Who knows?
I'm excited to see Sacramento in the playoffs. I think they're a fun team. The very few times that I've seen them play, mostly against the Bulls, but they're just like a fun team. They're a young team. I don't think they could. They're gonna beat. I don't think they'll come out of the West or anything like that, but I'm looking forward to them. And I think that's a great point, Adon. Denver, like that's just concerning. That they're kind of fizzling out. They've been dominant the whole season. And then losing to the teams that they've been losing to at home, right?
Yeah.
Recently. And but the main thing, and I could be wrong, and the I think the alarming thing is Jokic is still playing he's still putting up the numbers that he's putting on, and they're at full force, pretty much.
Right.
It's
Nobody's
always
hurt.
been the thing with them, but they're never healthy. Right now, they're very close to the playoffs here, full force, and they're dropping games that they probably shouldn't be.
Morant is able to come back as early as Monday. His 8-game suspension, the 6 games that he's missed count. So he's able to come back on Monday. I mean, now I give him a chance. Why not, right? It's wide open. Like you said, the Kings, I think, are too young. The Grizzlies have been in the playoffs the last couple of years, so maybe they got some growing pains and they're a little bit better. But yeah, the Lakers have as good a chance as anybody on that side. It's gonna be and then the Suns, right? Who knows how KD is gonna come in and match with these guys. It looked good when they were starting, but even that, there's just question marks on every team in the West. So that's why, fuck the Lakers. They just gotta get somewhere in there and then see what happens. I don't think they'll beat the Bucks, the Celtics, or the 76ers in the finals. But you never know. Fucking injuries. The Raptors beat the Warriors in what was it, 2019, right?
Yeah.
Because KD and Thompson got hurt, so you never know. All you gotta do is play, and maybe that's part of the Bulls thinking too. Like you just never know.
Right.
Get in the tournament, you go up against the Bucks, and Giannis gets injured or whatever. You just never know. Switching sports. And I think there's been so many transactions that honestly it's been hard to keep up. Let me show it really quick, and then Sal, I want your take as far as which ones have been like the bigger impact signings, releases, trades, that kind of stuff. I'm sure you wanna talk about the trade the Bears made. I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but I know, I see your shirt. I know what you want to talk about. And then Dallas releasing Elliott. But there's just so many, right? So if I just look at March 15, look at all this shit. Like, how the fuck are we supposed to narrow it down to what we want to talk about? So
yeah, some are big key takeaways, some are like whatever moves. But I think the first one I think everybody wants to talk about is that big trade the Bears played with the Panthers.
Everybody, these guys behind me, that's all they've been talking about all fucking day, man. I'm tired of hearing them.
Not bad. I mean, I think it was like some people are just talking about like maybe they could have held out for something more. The draft's so weeks away, but who knows what happened? Maybe the Panthers were trying to move on, but at the end of the day, I think that they got a good haul. Like from my understanding, I think Poles was trying to hold off. He held off because I think they were trying to throw in another first-round pick, but he held off for DJ Moore. And I like it. You got the 9th pick, the 60-something pick, the next year's first round, the second round after that. And I think DJ Moore's the huge one, man. It's a big playmaker. It's forget about another first-round pick. You get first round, you can have 3 this round, 3 first-round picks, and they could come up bust. It's not guaranteed because you got a first-round pick. You get a Hall of Famer, a Pro Bowler, and all that stuff like that. You got someone that's proven he's a playmaker. He got the skill. He's talented. Bring that in. He's still young. And you still got test yourself. Test the waters you still play around in the draft. But DJ Moore is huge. You got him. Mooney has stepped up last year. Claypool is more than capable to be a 3 seed. He could probably be a 2 seed. A 2 receiver. I mean, number 2 receiver anywhere else. But him at 3. Komet was getting going. Let's see what happens with it at running back, but they still got to upgrade the offensive line. But that's a huge move. And now who knows? I said, we didn't expect Carter to get in trouble. He got in, and supposedly he had a bad pro day. But it looks like you could get him at 9. And who knows? They know who's who or who's going to draft him. Jalen Carter.
Yeah, that lineman. Yeah.
So let's see what happens. Like I said, I mean, maybe I just me getting greedy. But I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. Like I would be interested. I didn't know they were going to try to the for down 9 to the Carolina, but I thought if they're going to go like trade down to 2 or 3, trade that pick, trade a second time, get more picks out of that. That would have been cool. But now you're at 9. Like I don't know, Carter falls that. I saw that I looked at a bunch of mock drafts, but they still had him top 5. Thomas Shea from ESPN has him outside of the top 10, which would be good for us. But I said they know, they have insiders, they all teams. So I'm sure they all have how they talk to each other. They know who's who or whatever. But yeah, I said Carter at 9 would be cool. If they feel he's gonna fall out of the top 10, fuck it, trade down again. Just a couple more picks. But I mean, that's when you're gambling. I'm sure that's something good. But if they stick with 9 and they get someone like Carter, I'm not gonna be mad. I'm definitely gonna be mad. But that's
I heard that their goal is to secure the O line.
Well, that's it. Definitely. I mean, you saw with how they performed. They started off pretty good last year, but they just kind of fell apart. Fields was running for his life.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun to watch. But yeah, definitely. That's what they need to solidify. That's probably gonna. So that's what we go for in the draft. You already got the receivers. I think that's what you got to go for, the offensive line and defensive line. I think that's what they should be targeting in this draft. Who else? I mean, Brown I like, but that was another huge news. Brown went to Cincinnati, so watch out for Cincinnati. Might Orlando Brown.
Oh yeah, from the Chiefs, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
What about losing Montgomery?
That's tough. I was on the fence. You know what? Like I was kind of like, let him walk. Like I'm not saying I like the guy. But
Herbert's better, right?
Well, if he stays healthy. Another thing too, like when I saw what he walked away from, I think it was like 16 million over a few years. I don't know if you want to look it up, but when I saw that's what he was asking for, I'm like, oh come on, you could have kept it for that price. I thought he was gonna ask for more, but I forgot what he signed for. Let me see if I can look it up. But I thought it was like 3 for 16. 3 for 18 mil, and then yeah, so I was like, I'm like, for 6 million per, I'm like, you could afford that. I thought he was gonna like ask for more. There's not a ton of running backs, so I thought some team was gonna overpay, and I think Detroit got a good deal, man. Like that. Let's just say Rodgers gets out, he ends up with New York. Detroit looks like they're up and coming, and they use added a quality running back. They're gonna be tough to beat. Minnesota is good. So we still got a long way to go, but yeah, Montgomery at 18 for 3. Unless they got a plan, who knows? Eckler's available, or he's asking to get traded. Maybe that's what the next move. Who knows what they have in store? Maybe
that would be nice. That would be nice.
Barkley's franchise, right? So,
Eckler from the Chargers.
Oh,
yeah. So I guess the negotiation, the talk stalled. So Eckler just kind of has to know, like, I guess, they give him permission, or he has to get traded. They've asked for a trade request. So who knows? Maybe they want to make a good move for him. I don't know if they want to pay for him, or I think Barkley's franchise. So maybe they make a move for him next year or so. So, if you say healthy, but who knows what their plan is? Like I said, I don't want to, poop on their plans, but yeah, Montgomery for 18, I could have kept them wrong. But that's it. Brown was, I think, a huge one. I think for me. I mean, I'm big on Bengals, but
yeah, they definitely got better. They better protecting Burrow. Luis, any thoughts on that or any other ones? I know you're following Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, so I saw Aaron Rodgers. That's so dramatic, right? All him going away and then resurfacing, and then he's with the Jets. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see how it goes.
He said he was pretty sure he was gonna retire when he went into the dark.
Right into the dark. And like, but the one that I wanted, that I had a question for both of you guys. Just I'm more of I would say I'm definitely more of a casual football fan. Like I'll like follow the Bears, and then everybody outside the Bears, I'm kind of like lost on roster depth. But I saw, so obviously the one that caught my eye was the Cowboys releasing Zeke, right? And like it didn't even like, I thought that was kind of a big deal, but why is it? I guess my question is, why isn't that such a big deal? I guess like I really haven't heard a lot of excitement over that or anything. Like, was it what? So what's the deal with that? I don't get it. Like that's how I felt. Like that it was very underwhelming that they did that they caught him.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
think it helped them with whatever, like the cap room with the salary cap, the cutting him, just helped them with
Yeah.
that. And then I was surprised, but it seems like everybody was like, oh, okay, it makes sense. I think he averaged like over 100 yards per game his first 3 seasons, and the last 3 seasons, I think he's gone, like averaging 60 to 50 something to 50 something, and then his yards per carry are below 4. So Pollard's a better running back. It seems like they used to use him like as a power back, like in the goal line kind of thing. So I wasn't expecting them to cut it, but maybe they just figured they could find somebody else that could be the power back and not pay him so much. I also heard that they might bring him back, but I don't know why. Like you hear about all these players restructuring their contracts to help them with the cap or help them bring in other players. If they really did want to keep them, why wouldn't they restructure the contract? But I had heard that maybe they'll bring them back at a lower amount.
Yeah, I think the same way. I think his best are behind him. Pollard's clearly the better one. I don't get how, or why was the point of starting Ezekiel every game, but then Pollard took most of the carries, and I guess maybe to justify his salary and say that whatever. But I guess it was time to move on. I said, yeah, they said you want to keep him, restructure him, but
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize. I mean, I know that running backs, especially in the NFL, are expendable, right? They could just like draft one, right? Sign one.
They don't last long, yeah.
Don't last long. But I didn't realize that he was at that point of his career. I guess I just haven't really been paying attention to where he's at in his career. But I thought he was still, a respectable running back. But I hadn't really been paying attention to his stats, so I guess that makes sense.
Here's a fun little stat for you. Broussard's got facts, not feelings, and other people have different things. Here's mine. My take with stats. So you guys don't like it, God damn it.
Yeah, I had a reaction. Sal was,
no.
I'm
listening. I was going at. It's fuck your feelings, right? I get it.
Yeah, like it's.
No, I'm listening.
It's my opinion, but with stats. My take with stats. They got T in it. Anyway, so in his last 50 carries, he's only accumulated 100 yards.
Cool.
Oh my God.
Zeke. So in his last 50 carries with the Cowboys, he only accumulated 100 yards. So that's 2 yards per carry. That's how bad it is. Yeah.
That's a big sample size. That's a big sample
crazy. I didn't realize it was that bad. It was like,
I'm sure. I'm curious to see if you look at Pollard's last 50 carries. What was his?
Fuck, that's crazy.
I mean, some of it I wonder if it's in the goal line, right? So there's only 3 yards to gain anyway. But that's just a stat that I was able to find. No big deal.
I was about to say, did you just find it?
No biggie.
In case somebody brought him up, like, damn.
Fuck your
That's
feelings.
what I do. So the only thing that I kind of had thoughts about when it comes to the NFL, I'd really like the Bears trade because I think that CJ Moore just made all the difference. He's a legitimate number one. I think he's only missed like 2 games since he's been in the league, so he's dependable. Like the Bears have never drafted a good wide receiver. Like they spent all these first round picks on White and all these other guys, and they just failed. So it was like you basically got a short thing that you don't even have to guess. Like okay, I'm number 9, and then they're gonna try a wide receiver to pair with Fields. You don't even have to worry about that. Like Sal mentioned, you got Moore, Mooney, Claypool and Mooney could, they're gonna they'll succeed better because they got more. But the one that keeps on bothering me is Lamar Jackson. So we talked about this last week, how they were saying, oh well, technically teams can't offer him a deal because they have to wait for free agency, and they would, what the fuck? Like it's free agency was 3 p.m. or whatever on Wednesday. We were hearing about teams signing or trading or reaching agreements with people since fucking Monday or before that. So what were they talking about that teams couldn't talk to Lamar until free agency started? Apparently they were talking to all these other players. How the fuck were they making agreements before free agency started? Like all these people knew where they were going. They knew David Carr was gonna sign with the Saints. They knew all this shit. So what the fuck is going on? I don't get it.
I don't know what they call it, the tampering period. I'm like, oh, so you can tamper?
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, they're tampering with all the other players then because this stuff came out before free agency started. That we knew were a bunch of these. We knew trades. We knew who was signing where. If I'm the Titans or the Commanders, aren't you just fucking like pursuing Lamar Jackson like crazy? Like what the fuck is going on? So like, oh, they're afraid that if they sign them to but I don't. It's like the Ravens have a chance to match, right? They're like, oh, so the Ravens are obviously gonna take the 5 days or however long they have, and then they're not gonna be able to negotiate with anybody else. Who the fuck are they gonna lose out on? You know, like who are they waiting for? If they send an offer sheet to Lamar Jackson, are they afraid they're gonna miss out on fucking Mayfield, who for some reason signed with the Bugs? Like who the fuck are they afraid of that they have to wait 5 days to know if they're gonna have Lamar or not? I'm so fucking confused. Like I'm telling you, there's gotta be something where the NFL owners, I think, are saying like, fuck this guaranteed deals. We're putting our foot down. Fucking Cleveland fucked up and giving Watson all that money. And apparently they're restructuring his contract too. But I just don't get it. Like Washington makes sense, right? They got the enemy from the Chiefs. So they got a good offensive coordinator. You could pair Lamar. What else do they have fucking going on? That guy Heineke went somewhere else. I forgot where he went. The Titans, I mean, they were decent, right? They have a good defense. They got Henry. I fucking pair him up with that fucking team. I'm so confused. I don't know what you guys think about it.
And you gotta marry the guy. It's an offer. Throw an offer. Let's talk. You know, that's all it is. Lamar doesn't have to accept their offer. Like, let's see where you're at and stuff like that. But you're right. It seems like that a guy like Lamar doesn't come around that often. Like, why don't you pitch him an offer, sell him? You know, but there's more to it. We don't know, but I think you're onto like just put a foot down with the whole guaranteed money. But
and I think maybe that's what it is, and not knowing enough about the contracts. But he's been very vocal about his guaranteed money, right? And it's not just a little bit. He wants to be paid for what he believes he's worth. So I don't think that's scaring people away, but yeah, it's a little suspicious, you know. And then I know it's not the same thing, but it is annoying. These lesser quarterbacks, teams are making moves for, you know, you see these quarterbacks that are being signed. You know, you say Mayfield. I know it's not the same because of the money, but I mean, you know, Garoppolo.
What the fuck are the Raiders doing?
Right, they just like
they traded Waller.
So teams are like, even like all teams are set at quarterback, or you know, a million excuses, but they're making moves for like lesser quarterbacks, and I don't know. So I'm with you. I don't understand it. I don't see why they wouldn't just make an offer, because at worst, like if it doesn't make sense that they would not do it because they're concerned that Baltimore is gonna match it. Like who gives a fuck? You know what I mean?
Right.
If you don't have it right now, if you really want to make an offer, and if Baltimore, you know, matches it, then oh well, you're in the same spot. You're in the same fucking spot.
But think like, who are they missing out? They're like, oh, if I have to wait those 5 days, I won't be able to make an offer to X player. Who else is out there? Like the Colts that just came to mind. Why wouldn't the Colts be going after Lamar to pair him with Taylor? Yeah. Like there's these teams that make sense. I don't understand what the Raiders did. I mean, if I'm the Raiders, I'm going after Lamar. You think Garoppolo was gonna go like this? I don't know, maybe. But
there's a story out there. I don't know if you saw.
How's Garoppolo better than Carr? Sorry to cut you off, Sean, but seriously, how's Garoppolo better than Carr?
He's I don't get it.
I don't think they're the same. I don't think they're one's a whole lot better than the other. I mean,
but exactly. So what are they doing? What they're not getting better.
Is he getting paid less or?
That I don't know. I mean, he does have a better winning percentage, right? Like he's up there. Garoppolo has a 700, winning percentage. Only like Brady, Mahomes, Manning, Staubach. Like he's up with those fucking guys, but it's because he's been in good situations, right? With the Patriots when Brady got hurt. And then the 49ers that coach is it Shanahan, the coach? Like, you know, he put Purdy in there and they fucking win. Like you just put any quarterback with him and they succeed. So anyway, sorry, so
No, I would say the whole Waller thing. I don't know, but I started looking into like why would you trade him for a 3rd round pick? Like what's the point of? But I don't know how true. But apparently, I guess he dated or he
I heard the
married
same thing. I heard the same thing.
that one girl from the Aces, Las Vegas Aces, the NBA team. And I
Yeah,
don't know if he got married or he leaked out something like like they're getting married. The coach, I guess the McDaniels wasn't invited to the wedding.
yeah.
He leaked out that they were getting married or they got married at the combine or something like that, or he told people, and they got upset at him, like, hey, why did you do that? It was whatever. So I guess McDaniels should have, and I kind of believe because McDaniels seems like he's kind of petty, like kind of like a jerk like that. He kind of rubs me off like that.
Yeah.
Pettiness, yeah.
But at the same time, like, man, put your pride aside. Like, a 3rd round pick for Waller, like, all right, whatever. Like, I think that's a stupid move. Like, if I'm the owner, I'd be pissed. Like, both, like, explain that to me. What was the purpose? If you're a GM or if you're the one that pulled the trigger, I don't know, what either. But why? That guy's breaking out at his position, and you're just gonna give him away for a 3rd round pick. Like, fuck out of here.
He did it the day after he got married.
Um,
And you guys have Twitter. I actually think like he added fuel to it by like adding something about it.
oh,
Like
did he?
yeah, like he kind of made it seem like
Oh, he's the one
you
that's
didn't
married
invite
to
me, you
that
didn't invite me to the wedding.
to that
Okay.
girl. I know who you're talking about. She's
She's like a
yeah,
WNBA.
she's the one that was like she got famous. I mean, she's a basketball player, right? But she was like launching t-shirts into the stands, right?
I don't know if she is.
Look up the video.
If Sal doesn't know, and Sal's a huge WNBA fan.
I love
That's why- No, there's
Sal
a
doesn't
video.
know her name,
okay,
and then we're fucked. If Sal doesn't
Like
know,
at a Spurs game, she was like launching t-shirts like into the second stand or whatever. Like she had
she's
she has
got
a
big
pretty good
arms.
arm.
I don't know if I feel like looking her
She's
up
got
now.
big arms. Like with the, I just saw the
Does she?
picture of her.
Yeah, I never-
Look at that video I'm talking about. She's launching t-shirts into the stands at a basketball game. Maybe it's not even her. Fuck, I don't even know. I think it is.
Darren Waller's wife spills the beans on Raiders coach Josh McDaniel.
Kelsey Plum, Emma.
There you go. Yeah,
Kelsey Plum, yeah.
it is her. Did you find it?
I'm looking.
Looking for the video?
How is it? Those t-shirt. That's what comes up. Yeah,
Keisha.
that's easier to stand. Oh, that is her.
Yeah,
Oh, she's a lefty too.
pretty good arm. I mean, they're t-shirts, but still, I
I
don't
mean,
think
I think I found
I
it.
could launch it into the second row.
This one? Those t-shirts to fans? This one?
Yeah, I think so. A
Yeah,
minute.
that's what I was looking at. She's not bad looking. She's a looker.
There you go. Then. See, look. Oh, she is lefty.
Or the camera was flipped. No, she's probably lefty.
But look at it. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was into the second the upper. I can't even see the fucking shirt anymore.
I think this guy could have done better. But
All right. I thought it was in the second. It looked impressive.
That's how fucking myths and fucking legends are made. Like, you know, like the story
The
keeps
second
on
stand,
remember
bro,
when, when Sal, you know, like jumped over a car and he like jumped over a little tricycle, you know, like it's like that's solid. He did it.
All right, I'm glad we looked it up, man. Fact checked it. So it was pretty average. Okay.
yeah, moves like that, like, I don't get it. Whatever. It's just Foreman and Tanya. So I pick up. Billings is another guy, defense tackle, big boy, only 26 years old. He's had a solid year last year, but I think during that COVID year, I think he opted out not to play. And then the following year, he had like he only played 6 games, but I think last year, what did he end up with? He had career high in like tackles, 30 something. But he's a big man, only 26, 27 years old. Be nice to fill in the hole. So, should be a decent pickup. Let's see. I forgot how much they signed him for, but I think the Bears are trending in the right direction right now.
Do you think they,
Anybody else that stands out that made some, other than Brown with the Bengals? So any other team that you've seen, you're like, oh, okay. I know Juju signed with the Patriots. You know, he got paid thanks to Mahomes. And I think they signed a decent wide receiver really cheap. But I don't know, just out there.
Well, I don't
Anything?
get why Jacoby Myers was pretty good. They let him go to the Raiders, but for the same price, they got Juju Smith. So I don't know what the thought process was behind there. But other than that, it's just the only thing I can remember is I forgot who they picked up the offensive line, but the Broncos spent a ton of money the first day. It was like I forgot the amount I heard, but it was like an absurd amount, like a first day free agency. But I mean, I think Sean Payton knows what he's doing over there. Maybe he revitalizes Russell Wilson's career. I mean, he took the job for a reason. You know, I don't think he's going to set up. He's trying to rebuild. He wants to contend. So I don't know. I think other than that, it's not a huge splash news. I just like the one that stands out the most is I think the Orlando Brown one. You know, from KC to the Bengals and Joe Burrow. I think.
Yeah, man. I don't think the Chiefs have gotten better.
You know,
I
mean, they used to have Mahomes.
Right.
I think Mahomes is better than Burrow, but at the end of the day, it's a team sport. You look at a guy like Brown, and he goes to the Bengals, the one that was, and then you just lost Juju, which is, I mean, sure you could replace him, but who now? Who's free agent? Who's he gonna go for? Who knows? Maybe they make a move for DeAndre Hopkins. Who knows? I don't know if they got the capital for it, but
That's right. That's right. Apparently he's available. You know, the other thing that I just thought of too is the Dolphins, right? The Dolphins picked up Tua's option. But why not just fucking make an offer, send an offer sheet to Lamar?
Yeah.
If the Ravens pick it up, you still have your plan. You got Tua. If they don't pick it up, you fucking trade Tua.
Yeah,
That guy's one concussion away from fucking being out of the league, and I feel bad for him. I don't even know if that guy should be playing anymore.
Yeah, not only that, but his back is, you know, like it's an issue. He's not, you know, when if it's not concussed, it's something back, leg, whatever. But yeah, imagine like Lamar with that speed, and then you got Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Like you could put up some huge numbers. Like you'll give fucking defensive coordinators headaches, you know, like going into that week, like it's stressing. Like it's like, but like I said, who knows? Maybe things change, but like let's talk, you know, let's talk turkey. You know, give him, throw out a number, you know, but. For him to be less, I think it's bigger than Lamar at this point, man.
All right, guys. So, any other things on your mind, Luis?
Yeah, actually, real quick, not to deter too much. I know we touched base on it, just very, very little about the MVP race, but I'm very excited to get your popcorn ready, guys. You mentioned it, Adon, March 25th, so next Saturday. Because it's between those three guys. It's between you know, Embiid and Jokic are neck and neck now, right? Jokic was ahead. Now Embiid is within the last week has been playing. He's been on a tear, right? So now he's like the favorite.
And they have a better record. They have a better record than the Nuggets now.
Right. And so everything, so to your point is, I feel like right now everything's magnified. I feel like it's so crazy, but like it could really come down to this next couple of weeks. And it could be something as simple as head-to-head matchups, right? And then a lot of things are going to go into it, right? But those might stick out. So March 25th, Saturday, Giannis at Denver. So Giannis and Jokic. Then 2 fucking days later, Jokic has to play Embiid again. And this time Denver at home. So he has Giannis first, then Embiid. And then April 2nd, just, you know, a couple days later, it's going to be Giannis and Embiid. I think Giannis is at home that game. So that within a week, the three top contenders are going to go up against each other. It'll be magnified. So I'm excited. I'm gonna try to tune in to. I know you got the package, Adon, the NBA package.
Yeah, the league pass, yes.
Yeah, and that was it. So I just wanted to touch base on.
excellent point. It could come down to that. Like if Embiid kills Jokic again, they're like, look at their head-to-head matchup. It could make and then if Giannis just somehow destroys both of them, and they're going to end up with the best record. You know our boy Cruz Broussard, when he voted for Derrick Rose that one year, his rationale for voting for Derrick Rose was just the head-to-head matchups with all the other top point guards. Like he just looked at the straight-up stats and the Bulls winning, and he's like, when he played against Russell Westbrook, when he played against CP3, against Damian Lillard, like he just compared them like you're doing, Luis, which makes sense to me. Like how did they pair up when they played each other and whose team won? And Derrick Rose was putting up some fucking numbers against the other point guards.
I just think that it's so tight coming towards the end here. There's no clear cut, winner yet. It seems like it's up in the air. So yeah, I mean,
it's all the narrative. So it's all what does the media wanna focus on? And the narrative now it's shifting to Embiid, and if he has those great games against those two guys, I think it's just gonna trend that way.
I think you write it down because sorry, the last thing was you mentioned that maybe Embiid should have got in it last year. They gave back-to-back to Jokic. So this year might be like, oh, we owed you one. He still has to earn it, right? So I think he's still like the favorite out of the three right now, right? Like at this moment, but
it was different than last week. But
last week, right.
And they will never admit it. Like Nick Wright says it. He's like, he doesn't deserve 3 in a row. And Embiid has been the runner-up. It's his turn to win it. Like nobody has been the runner-up, like 3 years in a row and never won an MVP. So he'll come out. He doesn't have a vote. But the people that have a vote, they'll never say that. Oh, we're voting Embiid because we screwed him. The last years. They'll come up with the narrative, right? Like, oh, look at their head-to-head, and they ended up with a better record. They'll come up with something to justify it. So just random. I was looking at flights to Mexico, just like to get away. So I text my cousin that lives in Guadalajara. I'm like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Like, I'm not even gonna go to the towns to visit anybody. I'm just gonna go and stay a weekend in Guadalajara. And I found a ticket that was pretty cheap.
In May
4th through May 8th. Next day, Canelo announces he's fighting in Guadalajara on May 6th.
Oh shit! You were doing this before the announcement.
Yeah, so I got the ticket super fucking cheap, bro. Like I was like, oh my god, it was less than 100 each way.
What the?
Yeah, and I was like, the next day I was like,
so you're going to the fight?
Canelo's fighting this fucking buster. That Saturday that I'm there, I get there on Thursday, come back on Monday. But he's, I don't know if I'm gonna go. Right, like if the tickets are cheap,
have to go, man.
But even if I don't go, it's gonna be awesome, right?
Nuts,
There's gonna be all these people just there in Guadalajara for the
No, I don't know how many years it's been. That's fucking awesome. You have to go to the fight. Yeah, the money, he has to fight. He has to fight somebody. And then the last thing, guys, to finish off on my boxing rant is fucking. I mean, what do you guys? This Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis fight, man, guys, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be good. I'm a big fan of it. I'll tell you why. I know that Ryan Garcia, right? Because I'm a Ryan Garcia hater, right? I'm like, kid hasn't fought anybody, pretty boy. He kind of talks like a newer version of Oscar to me. Like he's kind of cringy, and his LA boy, he took off, he doesn't fight a lot because he not to make fun of it, but he went through like some mental health, I'm like just thinking like, oh, this guy's like maybe not, like he's gonna struggle as a boxer, because he hasn't even done anything. But he's only 24 fucking years old. But the kid does have power. He doesn't have good defense, right? He's fast. He's tall. He's 5'10", okay? And he has a killer left hook, like one punch knockout power, right? And the way he's knocked out some these opponents that they put in front of him to test them out, other guys that have fought the same opponent, they haven't knocked them out as bad as Ryan Garcia. And the only thing is, real quick, so Gervonta Davis, he's the guy, right? I think Gervonta Davis could box circles around Ryan Garcia. Like, he's just at a different level, skill set. Gervonta Davis is older. He's like 28, 29. So it's not fit. Their resumes are not going to line up. Gervonta Davis is more accomplished. He is older,
Shorter.
But he's shorter. Now, the thing with Gervonta Davis, he's short, but he's stocky. You know what I mean? He's not like scrawny, not to waste too much time on the weight stuff, but I don't know if you guys knew this, but since I'm hyped up for the fight, I just been trying to read up a lot on it. So fucking Davis, they negotiated. This is the contract they gave Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia took it. So he told them, all right, you got to fight. Ryan Garcia's like, let's say, I think it's like at 140, like his natural, like the weight that he's been fighting. Gervonta Davis came back down to like 135. It's a big deal in boxing, right? So then Gervonta Davis says, hey, motherfucker, you want to fight me? You got to come down like a catch weight. He kind of did the Pacquiao, I know that Canelo's done that in the past too, and Mayweather and all those guys, right? So the catch weight, you got to come down to me, right? Ryan Garcia said, fine. And then Davis camp was like, okay. And on top of that, we're going to put a rehydration clause. So what they do is like, because now you come down, Ryan Garcia comes down to the catch weight, I think it's at 136. Then there's a clause in the contract where fight night, he can't be, I think, 10 pounds over that. Because you know that when fighters weigh in and they got to hydrate their body back to their natural weight so they could feel strong. And, you just don't want to be fat, right? Like, you don't want to just put 20 pounds on, but especially like a guy like Ryan Garcia, he's going to cut weight so that they could make the requirement. And then he's going to rehydrate back to his normal weight so that he could be at full strength for the fight. And rehydration clauses is not a new thing either, but it's one of the first times, at least, that it's publicly known that they've asked for a catch weight and a rehydration clause. And on the last thing he put was there's only a one-way rematch. So the only way there's a rematch is if Gervonta Davis loses. And Ryan Garcia said, fuck it, I'll take the fight. So to me, that's like, they put out this contract, and this is the only reason I'm sharing this with you guys, because you know how we say boxing is dead, right? Because a lot of people, like, they were talking shit about Earl Spence and Bud Crawford, but the details never come out, right? Like of the purse and these kind of bullshit. And to me, it kind of seemed like they gave him this offer. To me, that kind of shows like he's not going to take it, like he's not going to take it. And Ryan Garcia and his, and fucking Oscar, and they said, fuck it, we'll take it, So I still think Davis is a better fighter. I still think he's going to win. I don't think he'll win by knockout, They both do have knockout power, but I think that's as the kids like to say, that's scary energy coming from Davis. You know what I mean? Because if you're the big dog, if your fucking nickname is Tank, rehydration clause, come down to weight. Because Davis had just fought at 140. He fought this other guy, Barrios. So it's not like he's like, oh, he's smaller. You got to come to me. I'm the the champ. You got to meet. Like, it's all structured, obviously, so that the deck is stacked in his favor. But there's also, like, it's a lot, like, to be asking all those things. And then for Ryan to still take it, I'm like, all right, I'll give this punk ass credit, because he should lose this fucking fight. He should lose this fight because it's stacked against him. And he's the younger fighter, the less experienced. But, he's doing it, obviously, so that he could, compete for a title. It's not even a title fight, guys. It's just a fucking fight. They're not even fighting for a belt.
Now, I feel like rooting for Ryan now.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I didn't know any of this shit.
Yeah,
and even at the press conference, and he's kind of cringy, and and even in the thing, he did it. I don't know if you guys saw it. They went up to him, and Tech always likes to instigate their guys to get in their head, right? And he kind of put his fist on Ryan, and Ryan went, oh, he's like, he even did the noise. It was very cringy. He's like, yeah, it's on. It's on. And you guys should check it out. Do me a favor, like check out All Access, the Ryan Garcia Tank Davis. It's like 3 minutes long. It's a Showtime hype video for their press conferences. It'll show all the shit I'm telling you, but not about the contracts, just them going back and forth. That fight, I think I'm hyped up for, because I think that I wish if if there were fighters did that more, we have more, you know, fights that, you
Then
know.
well, I looked it up. So I was on a loop. So this is official. When is it scheduled?
April, man, April
April 22nd.
22nd.
Wow.
Well, that's right on the corner, and they had to get it in soon because then a couple weeks later, fucking Tank Davis has to go to jail or
Yeah,
court
right.
to either get sentenced or whatever that's gonna happen to him. But I don't know, man. He should win. You
There is
know,
like a 4-inch height difference. So
there is. Now he's fought taller
the
guys.
reach,
You know,
the reach probably.
Davis, when he fought, you know, Leo and he fought Barrios, I think Barrios is 5'10" too. So he just fought and knocked out a guy. Ryan's, you know, I wouldn't say he doesn't have Ryan's power, but he has similar frame. But Tank is solid, you know. He has one punch knockout power too, but I feel he's nervous. He's nervous, or his camp is nervous. And Mayweather's not in his corner anymore. So before, the excuse was, oh, it's because Mayweather was, you know, protecting him, making him, you know, so they could make money. And supposedly Mayweather's not in his promotion team anymore. So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited that these guys probably shouldn't be in the ring. I don't think they thought that Ryan Garcia was going to take that. Because this is a stupid contract. It's a bad contract for him.
That's a great point. We were complaining about fights not getting done, but you're right. Like, maybe the top dog is making it so difficult that the other guys can't accept the demands.
Money, you know, he has to fight somebody. And then the last thing, guys, to finish off on my boxing rant is fucking. I mean, what do you guys? This Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis fight, man, guys, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be good. I'm a big fan of it. I'll tell you why. I know that Ryan Garcia, right? Because I'm a Ryan Garcia hater, right? I'm like, kid hasn't fought anybody, pretty boy. He kind of talks like a newer version of Oscar to me. Like, he's kind of cringy, you know, and his LA boy, you know. He took off, you know, he doesn't fight a lot because not to make fun of it, but he went through like some mental health, you know. I'm like, just thinking like, oh, this guy's like maybe not, you know, like he's gonna struggle as a boxer, you know, because he hasn't even done anything. But he's only 24 fucking years old. But the kid does have power. He doesn't have good defense, right? He's fast. He's tall. He's 5'10", okay? And he has a killer left hook, like one punch knockout power, right? And the way he's knocked out some, you know, these opponents that they put in front of him to test them out, you know, other guys that have fought the same opponent, they haven't knocked him out as bad as Ryan Garcia. And the only thing is, real quick, so Gervonta Davis, he's the guy, right? I think Gervonta Davis could box circles around Ryan Garcia. Like, he's just at a different level, skill set. Gervonta Davis is older. He's like 28, 29. So it's not fit. Their resumes are not going to line up. Gervonta Davis is more accomplished. He is older, you know.
Shorter.
He's shorter. Now, the thing with Gervonta Davis, he's short, but he's stocky. You know what I mean? He's not like scrawny, you know. Not to waste too much time on the weight stuff, but I don't know if you guys knew this, but since I'm hyped up for the fight, I just been trying to read up a lot on it. So fucking Davis, they negotiated. This is a contract they gave Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia took it. So he told him, all right, you got to fight. Ryan Garcia's like, let's say, I think it's like at 140, like his natural, like the weight that he's been fighting. Gervonta Davis came back down to like 135. It's a big deal in boxing, right? So then Gervonta Davis says, hey, motherfucker, you want to fight me? You got to come down like a catch weight. You know, he kind of did the Pacquiao, you know, I know that Canelo's done that in the past too, and Mayweather and all those guys, right? So the catch weight, you got to come down to me, right? Ryan Garcia said, fine. And then Davis camp was like, okay. And on top of that, we're going to put a rehydration clause. So what they do is like, because now you come down, Ryan Garcia comes down to the catch weight, I think it's at 136. Then there's a clause in the contract where fight night, he can't be, I think, 10 pounds over that. Because you know that when fighters weigh in and they got to hydrate their body back to their natural weight so they could feel strong and, you just don't want to be fat, right? Like you don't want to just put 20 pounds on, but especially like a guy like Ryan Garcia, he's gonna cut weight so that they could make the requirement, and then he's gonna rehydrate back to his normal weight so that he could be at full strength for the fight. And they've rehydration clauses is not a new thing either, but it's one of the first times, at least, that it's publicly known that they've asked for a catch weight and a rehydration clause. And on the last thing he put was there's only a one-way rematch. So the only way there's a rematch is if Gervonta Davis loses. And Ryan Garcia said, fuck it, I'll take the fight. So to me, that's like they put out this contract, and this is the only reason I'm sharing this with you guys, because you know how we say boxing is dead, right? Because a lot of people, like, they were talking shit about Earl Spence and Bud Crawford, but the details never come out, right? Like of the purse and these kind of bullshit. And to me, it kind of seemed like they gave him this offer. Kind of, to me, that kind of shows like he's not going to take it, like he's not going to take it. And Ryan Garcia and his, and fucking Oscar, and they said, fuck it, we'll take it, So I still think Davis is a better fighter. I still think he's going to win. I don't think he'll win by knockout, They both do have knockout power, but I think that's as the kids like to say, that's scary energy coming from Davis. You know what I mean? Because if you're the big dog, if your fucking nickname is Tank, rehydration clause, come down to weight, because Davis had just fought at 140. He fought this other guy, Barrios. So it's not like he's like, oh, he's smaller, you gotta come to me. I'm the the champ, you gotta meet. Like, it's all structured obviously so that the deck is stacked in his favor, but it's also like it's a lot, like to be asking all those things, and then for Ryan to still take it. I'm like, all right, I'll give this punk ass credit, because he should lose this fucking fight. He should lose this fight because it's stacked against him. And he's the younger fighter, the less experienced, but he's doing it obviously so that he could compete for a title. It's not even a title fight, guys. It's just a fucking fight. They're not even fighting for a belt.
Now I feel like rooting for Ryan now.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I didn't know any of this shit.
Yeah,
and even the press conference, and he's kind of cringy, and and even in the thing, he did it. I don't know if you guys saw it. They went up to him, and Tank always likes to instigate their guys to get in their head, right? And he kind of put his fist on Ryan, and Ryan went, oh, he's like, ah! He even did the noise. It was very cringy. He's like, yeah, it's on, it's on, and you guys should check it out. Do me a favor, like check out All Access, the Ryan Garcia Tank Davis. It's like 3 minutes long. It's a Showtime hype video for their press conferences. It'll show all the shit I'm telling you, but not about the contracts, just them going back and forth. That fight, I think I'm hyped up for, because I think that I wish if there were fighters did that more, we have more fights that
Well, I looked it up. So I was on a loop. So this is official. When is it scheduled?
April, man. April
22nd.
22nd.
Wow.
Well, that's right on the corner, and they had to get it in soon, because then a couple weeks later, fucking Tank Davis has to go to jail or court to either get sentenced or whatever that's gonna happen to him. But I don't know, man. He should win.
There is like a 4-inch height difference. So
there is. Now he's fought taller guys. Davis, when he fought, Leo, and he fought Barrios. I think Barrios is 5'10" too. So he just fought and knocked out a guy. Ryan's, I wouldn't say he doesn't have Ryan's power, but he has similar frame. But Tank is solid, he has one punch knockout power too, but I feel he's nervous. He's nervous, or his camp is nervous, and Mayweather's not in his corner anymore. So before, the excuse was, oh, it's because Mayweather was, protecting him, making him, so they could make money. And supposedly Mayweather's not in his promotion team anymore. So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited that these guys probably shouldn't be in the ring. I don't think they thought that Ryan Garcia was going to take that, because this is a stupid contract. It's a bad contract for him.
That's a great point. We were complaining about fights not getting done, but you're right. Like, maybe the top dog is making it so difficult that the other guys can't accept the demands.
I don't know. Like, I think the Davis camp is a little nervous. So it'll be an intriguing fight. You know, this is all to hype up. It's to sell, right? The fight. So they gotta ham it up. But then once they get in the ring, you know, Davis is a solid fighter. It's not a joke. But I don't think Ryan is a joke either. You know, he definitely has power. So
I
I'm
was
excited.
surprised Tank is 20. Well, I knew he was unbeaten, 28-0, but 26 knockouts. I didn't know his knockout ratio was that good.
Yeah, he's solid, man. I mean, his nickname's Tank. You know what I mean? He's built. So I know that boxing, you know, we were kind of talking about like, but I'm excited about the Benavidez fight that's coming up this Saturday, and then next month the Ryan Garcia. But that's
And
it.
then
That's
even though it's a tune-up, you know, Canelo.
Canelo. Oh yeah, of
He's
course. I always
got.
watch a Canelo fight. The thing
Did
that
you
sucks
guys?
about that is pay-per-view, but you know, it sucks to pay for a pay-per-view that's a tune-up fight, you know, but
Well, it's
it's
gonna be free down there for me,
right.
unless I pay to go. But the fights are free down there. You guys heard Tyson Fury and that other
Yes.
guy.
They're kind of trying to do the same thing. Tyson Fury is kind of doing the same thing to him, like offering him like, I'll only fight you if it's 70-30.
And the guy agreed.
Guy agreed. He like,
Usyk
I'll
agreed to a
fight.
70-30 split. So it's kind of like the same thing. Like, okay, fine, I'll fucking do it. Let's
He's
fight.
giving him supposedly, and then Tyson Fury is acting like he's already gonna start training. It's like, all right, I'm gonna start training. I'll fight you. I think they're trying to fight, but that I don't know if that's just between them going back and forth. You know, they haven't.
Yeah, wasn't he doing the same thing with Joshua?
Yeah, Anthony Joshua.
Like he retired and then he was like trying to get Joshua to like agree to a fight, and that never happened. So this could just be some other bullshit.
Yeah, he told him 70-30. Same thing, no rematch clause. I really don't know anything beyond that, but supposedly Usyk said, you know, let's fight. And then there's one last fight that's happening in New York, and now I can't remember who the fuck it is. Damn. In July or in June. Anyway.
We got time.
Fuck, what the hell? Who is it? Is it maybe? Nah, I don't.
Anything else, Sal? While Luis looks.
I was actually I was looking up the boxing schedule to see if I could figure out what he was. But no, nothing on my end. Said I'm just kind of excited for this upcoming bear season. I know we just ended it and we haven't got to the draft, but definitely trending in the right direction. Let's see. Yeah. But that's it. And let's see what's in. Go Lakers, I guess. Go LeBron.
Oh, okay. June 10th, they're fighting in New York City. It's not as exciting as these guys, but I'm intrigued about it. It's Teofimo Lopez. You know, he had that maybe fluke win against Loma, and then he had the bad outing against Cambosos, right? And then he had a very subpar. I can't remember who he fought after Cambosos. He won, but he probably should have lost. He's fighting Josh Taylor June 10th, and Josh Taylor is unbeaten. So it's like kind of like not the same, but kind of like Benavidez Plant. Like it's gonna make or break these guys' momentum, you know. So if Teofimo loses against Josh Taylor, like I'm sorry, man. He was just a better man that day against Loma.
Yeah.
It was fluky, you know. That's it for him. I mean, he's not coming back. Like kind of like, you know how Broner always shows up now and then because he had that, you know, couple of showings but then never really competed for like. I think Teofimo will kind of go into that unless he beats, but Josh Taylor will kind of then people will know who Josh Taylor is, and then he could kind of go on to bigger and better things. So I just liked it because they're fighting in Madison Square Garden. So I'm like, man, that'd be a cool fight to go check out. It's not New York, it's not Vegas, because I know Vegas gets very expensive. So, but I don't know how, and I don't think it's that big of a fight. So I don't think it's like it's for casual fans. So I don't think it would be that expensive. But I gotta look into it.
Right now, they don't have anybody else on the undercard.
See, right. Damn.
Just on ESPN Plus, so it's not even pay-per-view right now. I just found it too. Yeah, I wonder when Loma's gonna fight. I'm looking forward
He's
to
supposed
some
to fight
other.
Haney,
He's gonna fight Haney.
supposedly, but I don't know if it's finalized. There's some good fights out there, man. I think he's supposed to fight Haney.
Cool. Maybe we'll get some at the second half of 2023. We'll get some. I mean, Canelo's gonna fight again in September, right? We
Right.
just don't know who. So we'll see.
He wants to fight Bivol probably again on a rematch, right? I would assume. But I really hope he fights.
And then Manny Pacquiao
Maybe
wants
they-
to come back. Like, what the fuck is up with that?
Yeah, they shouldn't give him a license anymore. Just 'cause, like how are you gonna keep coming in and out of retirement? Oh no, it's a rumor, so I'm wrong. They're just trying to make the fight.
So, anything else before we sign off?
That's it, man. Just go, they said go Bears, turn in the right direction. White Sox right around the corner. Bulls, stay tuned. Let's see what happens with these clowns. That's all I got on my end.
Cool. Well, maybe if did you do a bracket, Sal?
I don't want to talk about it. It's
But
it's
you
off
did, right?
Huh?
But
I
you
did.
you
They
do
should
it?
have. Yeah, I did. Do
So
that.
maybe next week we could just compare really quick. Take
It's
us
only
like a
game one
couple of
anyway.
minutes.
This is day one anyway, so we'll see. But
So I have Houston winning the whole thing, and nobody likes Houston. So I took a lot of what you gave me and I changed my stuff. I had them losing, and then you had them going to the final four or to the finals, and I was like, oh shit, I lost out. I don't know why I didn't pick Houston, and they just barely beat the number 16, man. It's
Hey,
terrible. Anyway,
at least they won, man. Because some of the what was that number 2 lost?
Arizona, right?
Number 15 or something? Yeah, Arizona. That was a terrible. They literally gave that game away.
yeah,
Man.
number 2 lost to Princeton. Yeah, Arizona lost.
No, was it Arizona that? What
Yeah.
was the team that like the guy got double teamed on a trap, right?
Oh, you're talking about
came out
the
of the ball?
Virginia one. That was a
Oh,
Virginia versus Furman or something like that. Furman.
he just like threw it to
Oh
like
yeah, Furman. Yeah. He threw it. Yeah, and then the guy stole it,
Intercepted it.
passed it for a
Has
3-pointer.
that kid done any interviews yet? Like, what the fuck was he
I saw
thinking?
nice.
So my upsets didn't work, and and then the other ones like so I had Utah upsetting Missouri, that didn't happen, and fucking Charleston upsetting San Diego, that didn't happen. Some bullshit, man. West Virginia upsetting Maryland, that didn't happen, but fucking Princeton beat Arizona. Anyway, we got NBA, couple of weeks left, and then the playoffs coming up. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to catching the White Sox game with you guys. Baseball season. We'll see what happens with the World Baseball Classic. Hopefully, no more injuries because we don't want TA or Lynn.
Oh man, no injuries. That sucks. That guy that on a celebration, the reliever.
He's a stud. He was a stud with the Mets.
They just gave him this massive contract in November of 2022 and fucking fucked up his. I think he's out for the season.
Next game for US, Venezuela.
How about tomorrow, Mexico and Puerto Rico?
Oh shit.
Yeah, Mexico's looking good, man.
So I think it's 4 o'clock your time. I think it's 6 o'clock. So this should be interesting.
Let's go. Let's show them. I'm surprised Dominican Republic is out, but Puerto Rico played well. But yeah, I think Venezuela is the best team, but it's all about pitching, right? So you could have the best. Like Venezuela versus Dominican Republic just looked like an all-star game. This is just like all of their guys are fucking amazing. Soto, Machado, fucking Rodriguez, like all these guys. Anyway, so we'll see. We'll talk about it. We'll see how things are going next week. Another teaser.
Right.
So that's it. We're gonna wrap it up today, guys. All right, let's go. So to next week, let's throw the challenge flag. Where's the flag? Boom. Upon further review, the ruling of field stands. Another great episode. Let's do it again next week, guys. First and goat, babe. First and goat for them.
There you go.
Upon further review, the ruling on the field stands. This is the greatest sports podcast, First and Goat.